Hi guys, dumelang. Welcome to today's episode of Scent Check. In today's video, I'm gonna be giving you guys a review on the new Kayali fragrance, the vanilla candy rock sugar. Yeah, you know Kayali and those sentences they use to name their fragrances. Anyway, today I'm going to be giving you guys a full in-depth review on this fragrance. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ntabi, so if you didn't know, now you know. Without further ado, let's get into the video. As you guys know, this is meant to be like a bubblegum jelly baby candy twist to their infamous vanilla 28, which you guys already know. If you're not new here, you know me and that fragrance, like sila. Like literally that fragrance is like one of my favorite perfumes of all time. It was my first big girl purchase, okay, so has a special place on my heart. I think I'm on my like third bottle. As soon as you spray this, you will notice that bubblegum jelly bean smell. Like you'll definitely get that smell. Like think of like your pink, you know those pink hard bubble gums, like those ones that like are very sweet when you chew on them and then literally after like 15 minutes the taste is gone. Yeah, those ones. So it gives very much that. And it smells so good. And I will say that for me, the best part of this fragrance is the opening. Okay, it's the opening because that's where like that bubblegum, that jelly bean smell is like very prominent, right? And then as soon as it starts drying down, that bubblegum, the candy, all that goodness, it starts dissipating. And I will say that's part of what I found very anticlimactic about this fragrance. And yeah, spoiler alert, I don't feel the way the girlies feel about this fragrance. I know a lot of people are raving about it, and for me personally, I think but anyway, as I was saying, right, that was the first thing for me that was like, you know, it threw me off a little bit, because I was like, when you look at the marketing of this fragrance, it puts a lot of emphasis on that candy, bubblegum candy, and then you get this fragrance, you spray it, and you're just like, oh, it smells nice. And then after a few, you know, seconds or minutes, it's actually a few minutes, like so let's say after like 5 to 10 minutes, that bubblegum jelly bean smell, it has gone away. Like it's dissipated. It's giving more or less, it's in the top notes versus the, like, you know, the base notes, right? Which is what personally I had expected based on the marketing. Like it seemed like the bubblegum and the jelly beans were gonna be like the hero notes of the fragrance, and then, you know, you get the fragrance and you realize, oh, nope, it's giving very much. She shows up in the beginning and then she disappears before the show even, you know, gets body. You know those main characters. Well, it's not a main character. You know what you know what it's giving? Remember how was it in Stomp the Yard? This is such a weird comparison. But anyway, go with me, okay? In Stomp the Yard years ago, when we were all like kids and obsessed with Chris Brown, okay, and then like they had Chris Brown in Stomp the Yard only to kill him like a few seconds or minutes into the movie. That's literally what the bubblegum that's what the bubblegum and the jelly beans do in this fragrance. It's literally giving that. So like, oh, okay, I was excited for that, and then literally they just killed it in the beginning. When it dries down, what you will notice is the pear note comes out to play. Like she literally comes out to play and she takes center stage, and it's like a candied pear type of a smell. So it's really pleasant, right? It smells really pleasant. And another thing that I will say is, if I'm like thinking of, yeah, the way vanilla 28 you expect it to smell, this fragrance, when you look at the base notes, when you read them, right, it definitely has like the notes that you would find in vanilla 28, right? However, I will say that like the thing that's prominent in here is that candied pear. So you don't get like a lot of the vanilla 28 DNA. You just get a dry down of like a very fruity candied pear, okay? So with all of that being said, that was part of what was a bit anticlimactic and underwhelming for me, because I really expected a vanilla 28 just with that bubblegum you know, jelly bean candy twist to it. And when I sprayed this initially, I was just like, crickets. You know, I was a little bit like, you know, underwhelmed because it really didn't give what I expected it to give. And that candied pear dry down is very reminiscent to Jean-Paul Gaultier's La Belle. If you have that fragrance, if you're familiar with it, you see that perfume. Why one of that perfume? Literally, this is what this is giving. It just smells like a more lighter, a more airy variation of that fragrance, and it's not as dense, it's not as, you know, syrupy sweet, and it's not as potent in your face. You know, she will stick to you till you go and bath type of an intensity, right? If you have any of these fragrances, La Belle, La Parfum, which is this one, I'm telling you now, like, that's part of what was underwhelming for me, I think, was the fact that as soon as I smelled this, I was like, this smells like other fragrances that I've smelled on the market, and I was very confused, and I'll get into why. Like, let me just give you my thoughts on the fragrance, and then I'll give you my other opinions, because I have some thoughts. Okay, I have some thoughts about the way people online are discussing this fragrance. But anyway, so it's giving very much, if La Belle and, you know, this one are the ones you would wear on like a cold day or in the evening, this is the one you'd wear on a hot summer day. It's also kind of reminding me of what happened with Yam Pistachio Gelato. La Hopola, when the fragrance was announced, you know, the notes were giving like, okay, like it's gonna be gourmand, and the notes were very heavy. There was rum, hazelnut, whipped cream, all the good things, you know, pistachio gelato, all the things. And then as soon as we smelled the fragrance, we were all like, how? And then, you know, like, where is it? Because it was such a light, airy fragrance, and in the beginning it's very fleeting as well, which is why I found that I do prefer the dupes of Yam Pistachio Gelato, because I could smell them much better than I can smell, you know, pistachio. But anyway, I digress. This one kind of gave me that same disappointment, if I can put it that way. This is Azzaro Wanted Girl by Night, and I remember telling you guys about this fragrance. This fragrance literally smells like Fanta grape. It smells like Fanta grape, or like a grape artificial candy smell, you know, that smell, né? Like that you'll find on like purple grape sweets. That's what this smells like. And in as much as, and this is what I'm saying, I'm not saying they smell 100% the same, I'm saying they smell very similar, to the point where I wore these two side by side the other day just to compare, and Ngempela, like, for real, like, this smells like an intense version of this. And I think the similarities that I'm picking up in these fragrances is the fact that they both have rum, and it has the sandalwood as well, which sandalwood, as you guys already know, you've heard me say this before, it's a very soft wood with like creamy nuances to it, so it's usually perfect in fragrances like this. And then it also has whipped cream. This has whipped cream, I think this has whipped cream if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but this has whipped cream and it has rum, and this one also has rum. But like, yes, very heavy notes, but this one is formulated to be quite light and airy. This smells like things I've smelled before. Like, it's not unique, it's nothing groundbreaking, and I think that also kind of adds to the confusion I've been having with regards to the way people are speaking about this fragrance online. I feel like the girlies are kind of exaggerating what this perfume is, and I don't get why they're doing that, because whenever I see like Mona Katan, which is the owner of Kayali, right, I have watched enough fragrance videos in the fragrance community to have seen her in the comment section of, you know, videos where people are literally expressing that, you know, I don't like this fragrance. I've literally seen her in the comment section, and she's such a good sport about it, right? So I say this to say that why people, I think, I kind of feel like people feel that they need to speak highly about the fragrance. You know, some of them I did see who they were gifted the fragrance, so maybe that's why. I'm not really sure what's going on, but that's why I wanted to give my review. I'm going to listen. I'm going to need you guys to tell me what y'all think of this fragrance. If you have tried it out, tell me in the comment section down below. Tell me if I'm being a bit crazy, because I feel like I am literally, like, I've watched so many videos now, and most of the videos I watch, people are like raving about this fragrance, but I'm low-key feeling like people are kind of overhyping her just a little bit, okay? So yeah, waiting, like, it is what it is. We all have our own preferences when it comes to fragrances, but for me, like I said, I was quite underwhelmed because it just didn't give what I expected it to give based on the marketing, okay? With that being said, the performance of this fragrance, like I said, it does wear very light. I get like a good 4 to maybe 5 hours max out of this fragrance, which is not good, right? Especially for the price point. And I do know when it comes to Kayali fragrances, they hit or miss. Okay, Lavan, some people do complain about the performance of Kayali fragrances. Some of them the performance is great, some of them the performance isn't. Y'all know, like, I'm a Kayali girl, I'm a Kayali stan. Okay, I have like 12 Kayali perfumes. I counted them the other day. So I do think from my experience, I've noticed some of them perform better than the others, right? But like, yeah, if we're talking price points, if we're talking what you are actually getting out of here, I would say like for me, I'm just like, yeah, like if I'm getting 100ml bottle of this fragrance, which is like 2 point something, which is a bit crazy. Okay, like the price increases of fragrances right now are a little bit crazy, because yeah, it's fine. Anyway, let's not get into that. So the point I'm making is, when you think of that price point and you think of this level of performance, you're just like, sure. However, I am willing to also, you know, acknowledge the fact that maybe this was just formulated to be a fruity floral gourmand for the summer and spring, because currently overseas it's spring, summer, and I am looking forward to trying this out in the high heat. You know what it gives, like dinsang, because so far I'm just like meh, you know. The perfect way of describing this fragrance: she's cute, she's just not the moment you expected her to be. That's it. And then like the second reason, and I think one of the most important reasons why I was so underwhelmed with this fragrance, is because when they announced the launch of this fragrance, right, and I was so excited to try out the fragrance, I was like, oh my god, I wonder what it smells like. I was so excited for it, right, to the point where I was like, actually, I have a fragrance in my collection which has similar notes to this baby, right, which is this girl over here. This is called Teens Pink Flower. Guys, first of all, look at the dents of this fragrance. This fragrance has bubblegum, caramel, jasmine, some sandalwood in the base, and it also has a green apple note in it. It just smells really nice, sweet, girly. It's like one of those fragrances, like if you like girly girl fragrances, you like smelling sweet, you like smelling yummy, you're gonna love this. And the price points, guys, this thing is so affordable. I will leave everything in the description box down below as per usual. So yes, I remembered I own this fragrance, and I said, let me get in my perfume master chef bag and try out these two. And when I say to you, I've been loving this little combo, and I've been wearing it so much. The last time I wore it, actually, I went to an event and so many people complimented me on how I smelled, to the point where someone even asked, what are you wearing? I'm going to buy that thing that you're wearing. Another thing she had mentioned was that from the time, like, you know, I had gotten there, because when I arrived, I did go greet you know, people that were there. So she was just like, because she complimented me at first, she was like, you smell so good, and I was like, thank you. And then the other hand she was sitting with said the same thing. And this thing by itself, it's already so good. I've gotten a couple of people wanting this fragrance because it just smells that good. It, like I said, it's just like a very lovely girly fragrance. Like I said, if you like smelling sweet, you like smelling pink, you will love this fragrance, right? But in any case, and later on, like into the evening, right, because the event started like in the afternoon, so like busihu hair, she could still smell me, and she was just like, I'm going to buy that, because literally like you've been smelling good the entire day, and even now your fragrance is like still projecting really well. And I didn't even have to, like, you know, touch up, or I didn't have to do none of that respray. I literally sprayed this at home, I left, and literally up until, you know, the evening till I got back home, you could still smell this on me, right? So this, especially for how affordable it is, like, guys, like, get this fragrance. Just get it, okay? Get it, trust me, and thank me later, okay? If you buy this fragrance and then you end up hating it, I'm giving you full permission to come back here and drag me. Full permission, because she's just good. She really is. So here was my thought process. This smelled so good that it had me excited for this fragrance. And then when I finally get this, I'm like, like, I was a little bit confused. Because I was like, how does my combo eat better than this? Because this combo, it gives me all the things I expected this to be. And I don't know, like, do with that information what you will. So with that being said, I would just say, Iyako Shopong and smell this. If not, you can just settle for the 10ml like I did. The 10ml is like 533 rand, which once again, it's like, if you think of this, like, this is like 350 rand. It's not more than 400 rand. yeah. Anyway, like I said, it's in the description box down below. You're getting value for money here, especially because this actually outperforms this fragrance. Not gonna lie. I will be honest enough to just say, wait again, if I didn't blind buy this and I went to the store and I smelled it, I wouldn't have bought this. I will say, when I asked my brother the other day, like, could he smell me from where he was standing, like he was standing a few feet away from me, right? And he did say he could smell me an hour into me having sprayed this fragrance. So it was projecting, you know, quite good, especially for how light it is. So yes, this one, like, if you are a girly that likes sweet fragrances, or you want sweet fragrances that are not overly sickly, cloyingly sweet, try this out. If you were expecting something different, then try out the alternatives that I recommended to you. And yes, so she's definitely giving little sister to Vanilla 28. Vanilla 28 is the middle sister, and then Vanilla Sugared Royale Patchouli is the bougie older sister, with Vanilla 28 obviously still being supreme. She's the queen, she's the moment, she's iconic. Okay, I can safely say that, like, they have not managed to dethrone Vanilla 28. Like, I see the efforts they've made with Sugared Royal Patchouli, with, you know, rock candy, whatever, vanilla and dun dun, but Vanilla 28, she reigns supreme. Okay, like, this is the one I will keep repurchasing. This one, the Royal Sugared Patchouli, it's the opening of this fragrance is the thing that offside. And I literally wish, if any one of you guys, right, please, if you have tried this fragrance, please help me figure out which medicine this perfume smells like. It literally smells like a cough medicine my mom used to give us when we were kids, but I can't place it. But the dry down of this thing is absolutely beautiful, and the performance of this fragrance, like, she will give you performance. And I think it's because of that sugared patchouli in the base. This patchouli does help fragrances, you know, last longer. It gives it that grip on your skin. Okay, so the dry down of this is absolutely stunning, especially like hours after you've worn it. It smells so heavenly. It's just that opening is a little bit sus. Okay, and the South African girly in me cannot place the medicine this thing smells like. I don't know. If you've smelt it, please put me out of my misery and help me figure this out, because I've never heard anyone overseas making that comparison. But yeah.